Hello, well in this film I'm going to show you how to sharpen the blade on a bell knife skiving machine. I've already popped up a film that showed you the basics of a bell knife skiver and why it's a useful machine to have in your workshop. So in this film I'm going to show you how to sharpen the blade. Here's my skiving machine, and the bell knife, the bit that does all the cutting, is just under this safety cover which is held on with like 3 screws. So you can take the safety cover off and then you can see the bell knife very clearly here if I just zoom in a little bit. So this is the bell knife, the bit that does the cutting, and you can see why it's called a bell knife, because if you think of like a church bell on its side, then that's what you got. It's like a cup shape, and this is the cutting edge all around here. It's like a disc, but that's the cutting edge. Now to keep that nice and sharp, what I do is I just colour a section of it, like an inch or so, with a Sharpie pen, and as long as that's been ground off, I know that it's nice and sharp all round. So having just marked any section of it, doesn't matter which part of the bell knife cutter, what I'm going to do next is move. There's a cutting stone inside this machine that I'll show you in a minute, and I move it across to grind off a bit of this bell knife. Now before I do that, I have to slow the machine down. Also at the same time, as well as slowing it down, I have to engage this sharpening stone. I'll show you this sharpening stone next. So if we come round the side of the machine, you can see there's a Perspex cover here which I'll lift up. I'll point to the sharpening stone. That's just there. That's like a regular grinding stone on a little axle, and there's a belt at the base of it, a green belt there, that drives it. So I have to engage this so that it goes round. What then happens, I might get this on camera for you. Yeah. This disc here, which is like a cup facing us, that is the bell knife. So it spins round, and its outer top lip is the cutting edge. So what I do is I engage this stone so that it turns, and then I turn a screw which moves the stone onto the bell knife to grind its edge. So I'll show you sort of what I mean first of all just by running the machine. If I run the machine, you'll see that bell knife move, but the stone won't because it's not engaged yet. So that's the bell knife that normally does all the cutting. The stone, as you can see, is perfectly stationary. To make that stone move, I have to lower that lever, and it just locks in. It's like a sort of clutch lever. And then to move the stone across, I turn this knob. So if I bring the camera back to the side, when I now press the foot pedal, you'll see the stone turning. Do you see how that's turning? And the bell knife is also turning. So what I now do is I turn that other knob until I get some sparks. And that's where the stone is hitting the bell knife. So as I turn it, you can probably see the stone getting closer. And that is probably enough. You don't want to overheat your cutting edge, so it really doesn't need much at all in the way of grinding, just to re-keen that edge. And if we look at the bell knife now, you'll probably see that blue pen has gone. So it's just coming round. There's a little strip of blue left, but the rest of this front cutting edge has been sharpened up nicely. Now, at this point, I can disengage the cutting wheel, wind this knob back to make sure that the cutting stone is well clear. That's the cutting stone now travelling back. And there's a final step I do, and that's to use this little stone on a wooden handle to remove any burr. So I run the machine again, so the bell knife is turning, and I just touch it, whoops, on the inside, just to remove any burr. And like that, I've got a lovely sharp bell knife. Now very occasionally you have to clean up this grinding stone, and for that you'll find normally with your skiving machine you've got one of these star wheels that you use on a regular grindstone. So the idea is you would engage it just like you did when you're doing the grinding and rub that along, and it cleans all the crud off that stone and it reprofiles it. That's what that star wheel is for, really keeping that stone in nice condition. But it's really as simple as that. And then obviously your cover can get screwed back on, and your machine's all ready for service, nice and sharp. Well, I hope you found that useful on how to sharpen the blade on a bell knife skiver, and you'll have lovely perfect skives from now on. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next film. Bye.